When you're told you're dehydrated, our brains are trained to think that means I need to drink more water. Today I'm going to share with you and I'm going to show you that that's not true. Hello, this is Dr. C.J. Benkert. Let me ask you a question. How do you know if you're hydrated? When someone tells you that you're dehydrated, what's the first thing you think of? If you're watching live, put that in the comments. What's the first thing you think of if somebody tells you you're dehydrated? Dehydrated. What do you think of doing? Yeah, you think about drinking water. When you're told you're dehydrated, our brains are trained to think that means I need to drink more water. Today I'm going to share with you and I'm going to show you that that's not true. The hydration of your cells has very little to do with the amount of water that you drink, and it has everything to do with the health of your inner body. Ultimately, the health of your beautiful cells. We each have 50 to 100 trillion cells in our body. This is Dr. C.J. Benkert with Pura Vida Wellness. This is one of my most favorite topics in the entire world. It's the crux of most of what I do, and it has to do with cellular health. So this week we're talking about pure water. It's the second core concept of my 12 core concepts, which if followed will help you lead a more pure, a more joyful, a more healthy, a more adventurous, a fuller life. So the second core concept that we're covering this week is pure water. First lesson, I talked about the different properties of water, why water's so amazing. Second lesson, we talked about the different types of water. Yesterday, I went into detail regarding bottled water, specifically plastic water bottles, and how dangerous those are, not just to the environment, to your body. And today, I'm going to cover cellular hydration. You can't talk about cellular hydration without talking about cellular health. So, in order to get well, you have to have healthy cells. So Dr. Daniel Pompa, one of my main mentors, I have many mentors, I've trained with many physicians over the years, and he is definitely somebody that I have a lot of respect for. He teaches physicians all over the world, not just chiropractors, but naturopaths and medical doctors and health coaches, and he's on a mission to train as many physicians as possible so that people like me can take what we've learned from our mentors, the people that have preceded us, and bring the truth to the masses. All right, so cellular hydration, cellular health. This is one of my favorite things to do. I'm going to draw a cell. All right, so that's a cell. Now, a cell has a lipid bilayer. It has two layers of fats. The cell membrane, two layers of fats. That's a healthy cell, two layers of fats. A healthy cell can easily bring in all of the good stuff. Nutrients, water, good stuff. The good stuff. And a healthy cell can easily take out the bad stuff. Waste products, toxins. Okay, so we have the bad stuff and we have the good stuff. That's a healthy cell. The problem is, here's the problem. The problem is the American diet, stress, bad fats, hydrogenated fats, sugar, grain, toxins like pesticides, BPAs, heavy metals, etc. The problem is that you have this supposed to be healthy cell, which now has toxins stuck in it, canola oil, sugar creating inflammation, heavy metals, lead, mercury, pesticides. Okay, so that's all the bad stuff. And when bad stuff, because most toxins are fat soluble, and what did I just say, or what did I just teach you? That the cell membrane is made up of 2 layers of fats. So most toxins are attracted either to the cell membrane, the neurons in your brain, or fat cells themselves. That's why if you're suffering with weight loss resistance, but you don't have a safe way to get rid of toxins, your body will not let you burn fat. Your body will not let you lose weight. So when toxins get stuck in the membrane, this is what happens. This squiggly line is inflammation, cellular inflammation. And it's kind of like a shriveled up raisin. Your cells now are these dehydrated, shriveled up raisins instead of these big, full, healthy, hydrated grapes. So we have sick, inflamed raisins, dehydrated, shriveled up, or you have these big, healthy, hydrated grapes. So do you get the picture? So do you want your cells to be like grapes, like this? Or do you want your cells to be shriveled up, dehydrated, tough raisins? If your cells are like raisins, the bad stuff can't get out and the good stuff can't get in. If your cells are hydrated, and I've missed one component here. Let's use a different color. The one component that I've left out are hormone receptors. So every cell in your body has over 20,000. They're like little hairs, like little antennas. These beautiful little hormone receptors. 20,000 hormone receptors. So on a dehydrated, inflamed cell, this little raisin over here, the receptors are there, but they're blunted, they're deadened, they're desensitized. So cells have hormone receptors. So when the cell is filled with toxins, good stuff can't get in, bad stuff can't get out, and the hormone receptors like insulin receptors, thyroid receptors, leptin receptors, dopamine receptors that make you feel good and happy, the receptors don't get the message. And so the stuff that's supposed to happen in the cell does not happen in the cell. Okay, so when I say, hey, you're dehydrated, and you think you need to drink water, no. So, because no matter how much water you drink, there's 4 things really, that interfere with your body's ability to bring water. It doesn't matter how much water you drink. The only thing that matters is how much water is getting in the cell. And how much water is getting in the cell has to do with what I just explained, how healthy the cell membrane is and whether or not it's inflamed or not. The second thing it has to do with are, let's see, I'll just say it. So the first thing is the health of the cell membrane, okay? The second thing that determines how much of the water that you're drinking that goes into the cell is the amount of minerals that you're taking into your body. Electrolytes are the same things as minerals. The main electrolytes are sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and chloride. Those 5 electrolytes mix with the water and charge the water, give it an electrical charge so that it can get into the cell. Things can't pass through the cell if they don't have an electrical charge. Our bodies are electrical in nature, and you have to have electrical interactions happening. So healthy cellular membrane, number 1. So if you're drinking water and your cell membrane is filled with lead, mercury, pesticides, canola oil, safflower oil. I don't care how much water you're drinking, it's not going to get into the cell, and you are still going to be sick and dehydrated. The second factor is if you're not getting enough minerals into your body with diet and supplementation. So most of those minerals are found in whole processed pure food. The whole processed pure food that I taught you about in the first week of this training. So go back to some of those lessons when I talked about pure food and the difference between live food and dead food. So cellular membrane health, electrolytes. The third factor that has to do with whether or not the water that you're drinking actually stays in your body and goes in the cell is the amount of fiber that you're eating. So when you're eating higher fiber foods like vegetables and nuts and one ingredient whole real foods that are filled with natural fiber, the fiber has the ability to hold on to water and allows your body to absorb more water through the intestines into the bloodstream. And now as long as your cells are healthy, that water that you ate with your food, that the fiber had an impact in allowing you to absorb more of it, can now go into the cell. The fourth thing that impacts your body's ability to become healthy and hydrated at a cellular level, which is the only thing that matters. You can't be hydrated if the water's not getting in your cell. That's the main point. So I posted an article on my Facebook page before I went live. So please go to my personal Facebook page, or we can post it in the YouTube channel and read the article that I posted on hydration and why it has very little to do with the amount of water that you're drinking. So the fourth thing that can keep you from being healthy and hydrated is electromagnetic. I always say frequency, but it's actually it's EMF. Electromagnetic, it's not frequency. Anyway, EMF, so cell phones, laptops, Wi-Fi in your house. EMFs, our bodies are electrical in nature. So when you're around a lot of electronic components, a lot of EMFs, even the electricity in your house being close to outlets, or sleeping with a night clock next to you, or having your phone next to your bed, or having your Wi-Fi on in the house when you're sleeping, our bodies are electrical in nature. They're amazing, beautiful beings. And when you have cell phones and all of these electronic pieces of equipment and Wi-Fi around you, it interferes with the body's electrical healthy state. So decreasing EMFs will increase your body's ability to hydrate the cells. Okay? So please read the article. I basically cover everything in the article that I covered on this live. I hope that helps. So remember, if you want to be healthy and you want to be hydrated, we have to get the cell well first. And that's why when people come and work with me and go through my 12-month Pura Vida Transformation System, one of the very first things we do for the first 40 days is you're eating whole, real, live foods, but we're putting you in a fasting mimicking state so that we can turn on the process called autophagy, which is self-eating, which allows these red toxins to slowly leave the body and allows the cellular membrane to start healing, which decreases the cellular inflammation, which now increases the health of the hormone receptors. And now over time, we can slowly see the body water percentage, which we measure on a weekly basis. We can start seeing that amount go up. So I'll end with this. This is a body composition analysis using bioimpedance. And you see these things that we're measuring here? Body water percentage right in the middle there, 52%. So a healthy female should be between 50 and 60% water. This is using bioimpedance, so it's a representation of the cellular water in your body. So we use this, and we see this over time when you're in autophagy and you're fasting mimicking, and you're taking all the offending things away like heavy metals, pesticides, toxins, gluten, processed food, and you're only eating whole, real vegetables, high quality proteins, whether it's animal based or vegetarian based, and then healthy whole fruits with all of their fiber. When you're eating those three things and you're putting your body in a fasting mimicking state, now this cell can start getting healthy enough so that we can very slowly, and it takes months, to see the cellular hydration go up. So that BCA, that body composition analysis that I just showed you, that was the last one I just did on myself a few days ago. My body water percentage is 52%. 80 to 90% of my clients, when I first meet them, when they come to us for help to get their health back, to lose weight, to reverse diabetes, to stop this metabolic syndrome, which is creating so much damage and suffering in the world. Most people, when they first come in to see me, and most of my clients, if you guys are listening, you will attest to this, you're somewhere in the 30 to 40% percentage of hydration range. Terrible. 30 is considered severe dehydration, 40 is moderate, and it takes us sometimes 6 months, year, 18 months, 24 months to get somebody from 30, 35, 40% hydration up into the 50s. And the reason being is because these cells did not get sick overnight. It took years for these heavy metals to accumulate in our body, for the McDonald's French fries, the processed food, the pesticides, the plastics. It took years for these things to accumulate in the body and just create this perfect environment for cancer, diabetes, stroke, heart disease, etc. Your body can heal. I help people do that. That's what I love to do. That's what this is all about, is coming to you and teaching you my 12 core concepts. I'm challenging all of you to incorporate one thing each week with each of my core concepts. Yesterday, my challenge to you for this week was to stop drinking bottled water. So that's my training today on cellular health, cellular hydration, why it's not about drinking water, but it's about the health of your cells. That's what matters. And that's what I'm all about, and that's what I'm doing with my clients, is I'm helping them to get their body healthy at a cellular level. Dr. CJ Benkert with Pura Vida Wellness, helping you, guiding you, teaching you, educating you, loving you, motivating you, and inspiring you to live your purest life in body, mind, heart, and spirit. Peace to you. Be kind to yourself today, and tell someone near you today in the next 5 minutes how much you love and care about them.